Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Division Z podcast. My name is Jason.
And I am K Cosmic.
Today, we've got some information to talk about regarding DMZ, the brand new looter shooter Escape from Tarkov styled game mode coming to Warzone 2.0 in Season 1 of the new era of Call of Duty.
Call of Duty 2.0.
They exactly, add that extra echo for effect. Dramatic.
Dramatic.
So we got that. We'll touch on some other stuff happening in the community towards the end, but main topic that I think would be worth discussing today would be, DMZ and what's going on with that, because it's new for Call of Duty. It's definitely a new thing that I think
a new game mode for Warzone, definitely.
I think a lot of people will at least try out.
I think they've definitely put work into it. I think the public opinion as of the moment, for the most part, like the majority think like, oh, this looks very underwhelming, I'm not going to play it. And I think it's because there's not like that much like stake to it. There's not much risk. Like as of right now, at least it looks like. I seen the bots are pretty brutal. And that's like one thing they definitely changed.
The bots definitely seem to be
a bit like
an actual challenge.
Like an actual challenge, yeah.
Going to the strongholds and looting those and finding rewards. I think that could be a really cool feacher, honestly, for Warzone.
I think this will be kind of like Outbreak in a way, where the more they actually update the game mode, it will be better. I think it's a good premise. I will play it. And to be honest, I'll probably play it more than Warzone, because like with Warzone 1, it was fine and all, but I only really played it during like, when we were all stuck inside. And that's because I had nothing to do, because there was no new zombies. At that time, everyone still hated Black Ops 4, so I wasn't going back to that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, going into the mechanics and stuff of it, obviously, you drop in, for people that don't know, you drop in with, like, whatever you select outside of the game. I'm assuming that's how it works, because that's how every, like, other extraction shooter works.
Yeah. You have your, like, loadout and then, like, contraband weapons or whatever.
You go in, you try and get as much shit as you can, try and make as much money as you can. Is does currency transfer over?
Well,
or is that...
I think there's specific objectives that you can complete, like in the world, that, for example, like factions challenges, which we'll talk about factions, which is funny that it's in this game and not Black Ops 4. But you have challenges and objectives that you can do to earn rewards, and you can actually unlock weapons as well through DMZ if you, actually exfil with that weapon, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, the main objective is to escape, which is what they said in the article, which is very strange that it's like, okay, you're dropping in, now get out. It's like, well,
the thing is,
if that's what's been the main objective, what other kind of main objectives do we do to it's kind of strange.
I play this game called Marauders, right? And it's kind of like Escape from Tarkov. It's a bit like lesser known. It's a newer game, right?
Okay.
And it's like it's set in space and stuff. I can't remember. It's like, I think it's set like 50 years after World War II or whatever. But like they're like, they have space travel, things like that, all that stuff, right? So you're in your ship. You pretty much stalk on the space station. You go around, kill people, blah, blah, blah. Loot stuff, take weapons, NPCs, try and get keys and stuff to unlock like special parts of the map. And your goal is to take as much as you can, right? Or get them rarest items. There's like items that are like useless in game, but important outside of the game. You take them out of the game, and you sell them, you use them to craft stuff. You can use them for like, again, just like selling to make more money. But the thing about these games is that there's a sell system and a buy system. You can buy stuff outside of the game, so when you go back in, you can have stuff that you didn't have in-game in the first place, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
That's not the case with DMZ, is it?
I think it is, though, because you can unlock stuff, and you have a stash that you can store stuff in so that you can use that in the next game.
But is there like a shop system where if I earned a currency...
Oh, that I don't know yet. I don't know if there's like any external shop or anything like that, but I do know that things track between games so that you can you have these dead drops that you can store equipment on and be like, oh, I want to leave this in the environment so that the next time I come back to this location, I can pick something up.
Okay, that's good. Then what do you... from your impressions, what do you think is the biggest like issue with it? Because the way I look at it, it's kind of what I was expecting. It's going to be that extraction shooter, but it's
Hmm.
going to be COD. So it's not going to be slow paced. It's going to be high paced. It's going to be like, you know what I mean? It's not going to be super tactical. And the only way they can make it super tactical is with like, I don't know, they made the health really low. But even
I
that, it's
mean,
like you can
I'm
run and
actually
gun the whole
inclined to
time.
beg to differ about that, where I think this game mode is going to be the tactical one. I think this one's going to be the
Mm,
slower paced game mode because of the style of game mode it's going to be. Because you have this
mm.
focus on survival and looting and crafting and completing secondary objectives really outside of like killing other players, because there's
Yeah,
another feature called assimilation where you can team up with an enemy squad temporarily
that's cool.
and
Yeah,
focus on trying to get objectives complete and stuff. So if anything, it's going to be the opposite. I think this one's going to be the more tactical one, and you're going to want to try to complete these objectives more so than actually fighting other people. And so there could very well be a bunch of games of DMZ where you'll have maybe like 30 bot kills and like one or even zero player kills. So
mm.
I think when it comes to a game mode like this, is going to be for those people who want to take their time,
Don't
and
want this
the
sweat.
people
They just
that
want to
like to
like,
explore, and
yeah,
the people who like the looter shooter thing. They want to bring in the Escape from Tarkov audience into this now. And there's going to be all these secondary things for players to do that I think they won't be as caught up with the whole, oh, I'm going to be the last player standing, because like we said, the objective, once you touch down in Al Mazrah, the objective is to escape.
yeah.
So the objective isn't to kill the players, the objective is just to escape.
Mm.
So I don't know. There's definitely going to be more things maybe to do in this, as opposed to,
Yeah,
in
I
Warzone
think
2.0 when it
well
comes
maybe
to outside player interactions.
yeah.
Yeah, this is the outbreak of Warzone, basically, with all the side objectives. Now you have, secure the missile site, eliminate the HVT, secure the package here, rescue a prisoner. You have all this secondary stuff that's in the game mode. That, yeah, this is the outbreak of Warzone, which could be pretty interesting, could be
Yeah.
boring. I mean, it's really hard to say right now. I mean, a lot of this stuff sounds pretty good on paper, but we
Yeah.
got to get
I've
into the
heard
game and
yeah.
see how it plays.
I've heard from quite a lot of people that it's like the equivalent of Battlefield 2042's Hazard Zone.
Oh,
I've never
never
played
played
it
that.
before. I've never played it before either. This is what people are
Hmm,
saying, where it's kind of like
interesting.
that extraction looter shooter. But I think with Warzone, or not Warzone, I think with DMZ is the fact it'll be free to play. The Battlefield one, I don't think did
Right.
too well. Um, but since it'll be free to play and people can access it, all you really need is just a console. And you don't even need a good console. I'm not saying the Xbox One, PS4 are bad, but they're like the baseline console. You know what I
Well, what are
mean?
you
Like
talking about? I can't use my PlayStation 1?
you can't use your PS. I'm sorry, Jason.
Ah,
You can't use the Switch. You can't use the PS1.
no.
You can't use the Xbox
I
360.
can't use my Super Nintendo?
You can't use your Super Nintendo. It's
Ah.
very very basic. It's unfortunate. Um, but no, so like the actual like entry to like requirements are really low compared to something
Hmm,
like Escape from Tarkov, where you need a console, a PC even.
I see.
And that's like a lot of like the extraction shooters is like they're mostly just on PC. I can't actually name an extraction shooter that's on like console. I don't know if there is one really.
I
Is
don't
there?
know. I mean, if Battlefield has their extraction game
No, but
mode
like
and whatever that's called, then maybe that. I don't know.
I mean that's like the only thing I've never played it before. I don't know how like in depth it is. I don't know if like you keep the stuff in like a backpack system outside the game to reuse.
Ah,
Um, but like I mean, well, my point is you don't have like a lot of it on it. You don't have their like own standalone game. I know DMZ is still technically a game mode and stuff. But I don't know. I think it'll do well. Um,
yeah,
but I think at the end of the day it'll just be COD still, and that's not a bad
yeah.
thing. That's what it's supposed to be. It doesn't need to change its identity to make this game mode to work. It shouldn't have to do that. I mean, look at Warzone. Warzone's just COD on a giant scale. Um, minus the hackers and stuff, but we don't. Well, I mean, hackers always been COD, but
I mean,
uh, but no, I think it'll do well. If there's one thing you could change, what would it be? I know we haven't played it, and we're like, we're discussing it that. But like one thing you've seen about it that maybe you're not the biggest fan of.
I mean, I don't really know. I haven't played it. I don't know what
No.
I would change right now because this is something new for Call of Duty. This is something that they've never tried before, and we'll just have to see how it goes in practice. And if certain mechanics don't work out, like for example, I'm looking forward to the stronghold feature. I'm looking forward to battling enemy combatants and looting strongholds and getting good weapons and loot and stuff from that. I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It reminds me a little bit of like a Far Cry 3, Far Cry style fortress that you could loot and liberate and whatever. And then I mean, the difference here is that you can't use that as a base for fast travel, but it still reminds me of, something like that, which I think is kind of cool. But let's say, for example, that ends up not being good, then, obviously I'll mention if something's not good about that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really know what I would change at this point, just because a lot of this just seems kind of like new. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe I don't really know what I would change. I mean, the weather, you got weather effects that are going to be in the game now.
Which
So
is cool.
maybe if the sandstorms suck because maybe the sandstorms are too blinding, or maybe they happen too frequently. Who knows at this point? I
The
mean,
fog rolling in.
the fog, exactly, the fog rolling in again. This time it's sand. But I mean, yeah, it's all hypothetical right now, so I don't really know what I would change. But I mean, one thing that is an interesting change is factions coming to Warzone.
Oh,
Now,
factions, eh?
all of us Black
Factions.
Ops 4 Zombies players will recognize the name factions in a different context, but in a very, very similar context at the same time, because there's factions you can align yourself with in Warzone 2. And you can do faction challenges, and you can complete objectives for your faction to earn XP and then get rewards and cosmetics and, all that kind of stuff.
Watch it be delayed. Dude, factions won't be coming to season 1. It'll be coming later on.
If a factions feature gets delayed for a second time in a row, it just shows you like how absolutely fucked Call of Duty is, okay?
I mean, it'd be pretty funny. Obviously we don't want it to be delayed, but
right,
we'd all get a pretty good laugh out of it.
I mean, hey,
I think it's cool that they're having it. The way that well, obviously you get your XP and stuff for rewards from it. Like, yeah, I think like it helps you just earn something like as you're playing. It's more ways to earn. You know what I mean? In a game where like you can't really earn a lot of like the main cosmetics because we're going to be behind a paywall. I know we have really good camos in this game. I know we have a lot of them, and that's a good thing as well. But I think having more ways to earn stuff is good, just because then it gives 100%ers like something to actually complete. Yeah, I think it's cool. I just hope it doesn't get delayed. I don't imagine it would do. I don't think it's going to be as
I hope it doesn't get delayed, and I hope it doesn't become a tedious grind fest. I hope the faction system is more cohesive and concise than some of the other systems that are in Modern Warfare 2. I mean, obviously the camo grinding in Modern Warfare 2 is like one of the only things that is concise about Modern Warfare 2, but in reality, everything else about the game when it comes to leveling up and the gunsmith and all that stuff is really convoluted and really artificially produced to inflate the playtime and everything like that. So I really hope that factions isn't just another ploy for that to happen, where it's like, hey, we have 3 different factions that you can align yourself with, and they have their own little trees of a bunch of stuff, and you get to spend 300 hours on each of them. So I hope it's not like that. I hope these challenges are, you have maybe your basic faction progression where you get the top-notch stuff. The more you stay in the faction, the more faction objectives you complete, and then like some sort of camo, or maybe faction mastery camo, or something like that. I don't really know, but we got what are the names of the factions? We got the Legion, we have the White Lotus, and we have the Black Mouse, I believe, are the names of the factions. So
cool,
kind of interesting names. I mean, love to see what they're actually about later on when the game releases. See how they play into the narrative of Warzone 2.0. If the narrative ends up being a good narrative if everything isn't just there to make it look cool.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I don't really know. I don't really know what's happening with this post-launch story, but we'll see. We'll see.
Um, yeah, I mean, it's quite an interesting one this time around because obviously they have the 2 years. Obviously, it's been kind of leaked out already that
Mm,
there's going to be premium content in year 2, which you have to pay for.
right.
Which supposedly is going to be Sledgehammer making it. That's a giant plot twist. Again,
Yeah.
leaks, but to be fair, a lot of the time these leaks do just end up coming true anyway. And like, I know it's quite
Especially
early
when it's
on and
coming
stuff.
from a source like Jason Schreier. I mean,
Yeah,
that guy seems to be pretty reputable.
it seems to me that Activision, they've seen Modern Warfare 2 make like, 800 million or whatever it's made. I
Right.
think it's 1 billion now, actually. It's over 1 billion it's made now.
Is it?
It's doing better than most movies do at the box office, which is, yeah.
I mean, the game costs a little bit more this year too, so there's that.
Oh, and my camera's died, is it? Why is it black?
Cosmic Scammer is back, and we're back to
Hello?
talking about the year
Yes.
two premium content
The
for
premium
Modern
content.
Warfare 2, which I gotta say, dude,
I can't wait to
like
spend $70 for for multiplayer maps.
to me that's ridiculous. Okay, now the thing that I can compare this to is the original season pass system that we had, where you had
Yeah.
all that was the original seasonal content. So to me, charging another $70 for this expansion is basically what it's going to be.
I think.
Is
Oh, go
on the
ahead. Go ahead.
surf. I mean, for where it is right now, on the surface, because we don't know all the details about it yet. But my first instinct about it was this is a scam. Because if we're already going to get free seasonal content, anyways, throughout Modern Warfare 2's life cycle with new guns and maps and modes and whatever, why do we need to pay another $70 for something else? Like, this better be top tier premium shit
I mean,
if this this is good.
if we're aiming for the $70 price tag, right? The only way that you can make it right is by having a campaign that's like 6 hours long. First of all, Modern Warfare 2 is overpriced anyway for the game that actually came out and the condition it was in. It wasn't completely broken and stuff, don't get me wrong, but the amount of content in it wasn't great.
Mm-hmm.
When we've had games like Vanguard, for example, and I know, haha, Vanguard, but that game had a lot of content on launch in terms of multiplayer, not zombies, multiplayer. So like I'm not like I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, right? So this supposed um premium content in year 2, whether or not you have it that it's well, because it's going to be connected to Modern Warfare 2 anyway.
Right.
Like that's going to be the main thing. So it's not a new COD title, which is very important to like give context to.
Right.
No matter what you do, is if there's multiplayer content, you're dividing the player base, and that becomes quite messy. Because everyone's going to want to buy it, right? If there is a pass and the people that play multiplayer, and because there is demand for multiplayer, because the game made what, like 1 billion in like a
There's
week.
demand for multiplayer now because people are going to use it to level up their guns for Warzone
Yeah,
2. I mean, that's
Warzone,
what
right?
Modern Warfare 2
That's
is a
is
$70 ad for Warzone 2.
Yeah, right. But I'm sure in that like $1 billion worth, there's people that genuinely just want to play the multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll probably all buy the second pass. But like, I don't know how. To me, the price tag of $70 for a game that's already come out doesn't sound right, unless
Well,
you're getting
that's
like
what
a
I'm
lot of,
saying.
because it's a live service game. That's how it works. You give all the content for free, and you make your money through like battle passes and stuff.
Right.
And now they're taking that aspect where everything's free,
Right.
taking it away. Unless it's like something stupid like zombies, which
If
it wouldn't
it's
be.
I don't think it
But
would be zombies, but like
no, obviously,
what would warrant $70 extra? I mean, you're going to be paying $140
does
for the
premium
game.
for premium, right? Does that mean like content you just pay for, or like content in terms of like a premium release, like that's giving that price tag of like 50, 60,
I think it's
$70?
both. I think it's both because you have, your main Call of Duty games that, your title games like Modern Warfare 2, Vanguard, Black Ops
Yeah,
Cold
well,
War, and they
the thing
cost,
is,
they have their normal price tags on them. So, I mean, that's what I think Activision considers premium content.
now at least, yeah, no, it is, because you wouldn't. I mean, DLC isn't a thing anymore, so
I mean,
well, until now, I
it is
guess.
and it isn't right?
Well, no,
Because you
like
have the seasonal stuff, which is downloadable
yeah.
content, but then
Well,
at the same
I mean,
time,
free. That's free. You know, that's what we've been like. That's what
yeah, I mean,
it's. But like, I mean, paid DLC. Would you class paid DLC as premium content?
well, no, because that's our paid DLC right now is
But
are
like
the
in older
shops
games, in
and
older
like the battle
games,
pass. In the older games, I
would you
mean,
class that as premium content? Like, I don't know if
no, because that's an add-on,
added. Okay,
right?
so the premium content most likely will be the $70 then. If we
Right.
take a wild guess, it might not be, but that's the way I'm thinking it, right?
Well,
So
that's what they said is that it's going to be a $70 premium like
okay,
content thing in 2023.
so what warrants that then? Without
That's what I'm saying.
like,
That's why I'm saying like my first instinct about this is like this is a scam because what in Activision's mind would be so good and so great to add on to Modern Warfare 2 of all games. You know, obviously it's the newest one, whatever. But to add on to Modern Warfare 2 that wouldn't already be a good idea to add during the normal seasonal cycle. Other than, just another quick money grab because what was it I saw the other day? Maybe it was like Charlie Intel or something like that saying if Activision didn't release something premium in 2023, they would lose like $1 billion. So on Activision's part, I know why they're doing it, but at the
to make
same
money.
time, as us the consumer, it's like what do you just expect everyone to go, okay, I'll play for Modern Warfare 2 a second time in a row. Here you go. I mean, it's just I don't know. I mean, obviously there's going to be millions of people who do end up doing that anyways, but I mean, with the way Modern Warfare 2 has been so far and the way things are going, I recall the old saying, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. And I just don't know what would warrant another $70 for Modern Warfare 2. Now,
Well,
I know a lot of people will make the argument, well, people buy the battle passes and the battle passes accumulate over time to, over $100 and things like that too. But you're missing the point because you're spending an extra $70 outside of that. In addition to people already going to be buying battle passes in Modern Warfare 2 and buying
yeah.
skins and things like that. It's draining as much money as possible from people because that's what they got going for them
Yeah.
right now. They
I
don't really
mean,
care about anything else.
even with the battle pass, and most people know this, if you're smart enough, you only have to buy one, and then you can unlock every other battle pass just with the currency you're making from that one.
Yeah, literally.
Right. So, but it never ends up that way. You always want something from the shop. You know what I mean? I love. I mean,
I
I bought
always
battle
wanted something from
passes.
the shop in Black Ops Cold War because Black Ops Cold War was a good game.
Yeah, and then Vanguard
But
came out, and that wasn't
Vanguard,
as
and then
good.
I was like, no. Modern Warfare 2019, no.
Come
Uh,
on,
Modern
Vanguard
Warfare
Zombies,
2, no.
best zombie game of all time. Vanguard Zombies.
Uh,
I love having my anime skins in Vanguard Zombies. Best game, two maps, two
Realistic,
round-based
gritty
maps.
World War II game.
Yes, realistic, iconic characters and all. Um, what's it? But I don't know. It's on top of that, it's Sledgehammer making it. So
Which,
that also
like,
worries me a lot.
I
They
want
don't
to
have a good
know.
track record.
I want to know the logic behind that one. Okay, like like,
Sledgehammer, since you made it, well, it wasn't even Sledgehammer that made the zombies mode in that game. Sledgehammer, you're making zombies this time.
but
And they
like it
do
doesn't
zombie.
even matter because Sledgehammer completely dropped the ball with Vanguard. So it's like, why are they like? I know this is gonna sound really harsh, but why do they get another chance right away? Like,
Especially when, I mean,
come
okay,
on.
okay, at least they haven't taken from Treyarch.
Yet,
That is very important. Like, I would
yet,
rather them take from Sledgehammer than Treyarch because I
yet.
want Treyarch just to go work on their own game.
No,
Don't take
no,
them,
no,
please.
no, no. It's gonna happen, and I'll tell you why. Because Treyarch's already working on ranked play for Modern Warfare 2.
Yes,
So
but they also worked on rank play from like Sledgehammer. At
for
this point, I
yeah,
don't
for
know why they don't
Sledgehammer
have
2.
their
Yeah, I
own.
know.
I don't understand why they don't have their own like little team to work on Sledgehammer, work on rank play. No idea why. I guess I don't know. The Treyarch team that's working on rank play, I'm looking at that as more of like its own like studio, since it's only like the game mode itself, right? Like,
Maybe.
I'm thinking it's the same people that are dedicated to that'll be working on that one, and and then obviously Black Ops 6 as well, right?
You're still allocating resources to that studio that's
I know,
working
yeah,
on
yeah,
ranked play for a
yeah.
completely different
I know,
game could be working
I
on
know,
2020. Yeah.
I know. It's stupid. It's dumb, right? But like, don't. Uh, what I'm thinking is don't do blackout where you take devs from across the board and use them to make a battle royale map. I know that's not what's happening, but like don't use them to make a
Oh
second
no, don't worry, they
campaign.
will.
Oh, come on, don't say that.
No,
Have some hope.
no, because here's the thing, man. If it's gonna be another $70, 70 whole dollars, you're paying for the game a second time for an
Uh,
expansion to that game. What could they add to warrant that price tag? It would have to be like something new. A thought that
well,
actually crossed my mind, and I hope I'm completely wrong about this, is that remember when the Vanguard riders are like, we want a Vanguard 2 and a Vanguard 3? If this is
yeah.
developed by Sledgehammer and let's say there is a secondary campaign to try to, warrant the $70 price tag, what if they make it like a modern sequel to Vanguard where like Price and Ghost and everybody like teams up with like the descendants from the Vanguard?
Oh God.
Because it's all
So
canon now, and so the expansion to Modern Warfare 2 is Vanguard 2.
that would hurt.
Like,
My like
it's a
here,
thought that crossed my mind, and I hope I'm wrong, but
here's my thing, right?
oh,
Like I know people either love or hate or just tolerate the campaign in Modern Warfare 2, right? Fair enough.
right.
I think the character development and stuff make up for like, the mediocre plot, right? Because the plot is kind of mediocre. It doesn't make you
Mm-hmm.
go like, "Oh, I didn't see that one coming." But most COD
Right.
campaigns don't really make you do that anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um I just I hope whoever writ the Modern Warfare 2 campaign, if there is like story DLC, and I know there's story DLC coming in like in terms of multiplayer stuff, right? Um, like with like Spec Ops and
Special
stuff.
ops,
Yeah,
raids.
and what I'm hoping is I hope that Sledgehammer don't write the continuation or have influence on it. I don't think they should have influence on what happens in Modern Warfare. I think if it's the case that you want to like take the devs to actually work on it, then fair enough. Don't get me wrong, Vanguard's campaign wasn't the greatest, but there wasn't anything wrong with it like functionally. It worked. Um
It
for the
worked.
most part. It
Like
worked, right? So like
that's the
if
one
you
thing
want
we can take solace in. You can
if
play
you
the game.
if you want to take Sledgehammer's team and like make them like just work on it, like do
Mhm.
like the levels and all that, and fair enough, they've given direction. Um, I don't know, man. Like, but thing is, Infinity Ward has like 3,000 people working for them, so at the current moment. So my thing is as well is well,
Like, what the fuck's happening?
the game comes out, right?
Right.
It's pretty for what it is. It's pretty solid. There's a lot of camos and that's fun, right? You can actually get rewarded for doing them and stuff, and they're easy enough. Don't get me wrong. Some systems are stupid. I don't like how you have to level up one weapon to get camos for another weapon. But I understand the logic. Um, Game comes out, no hardcore mode, no like brackets and stuff. I'm guessing that's all coming. Well, I know hardcore is, but I'm guessing the other stuff's coming season 1 as well.
Which
Um,
is ridiculous that they marketed it as
as new content
seasonal
when it's not new
content, which is
content.
just, but they're just
If
not
you mark it,
acceptable.
it shouldn't be on the like season pass thing. Not season pass, the season 1 update thing. Like the artwork they have for it.
Right, the roadmap.
Roadmap, yeah. I think if anything, just say like, oh yeah, we're finally adding this in. Or they just don't want to do that. They just want to market it as more content.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So 3,000 working on this game. Then the multiplayer maps we're getting are Shipment and Shoot House, which were both in Modern Warfare 2019.
No new
Uh,
maps.
no new maps, which great. Okay. Six. I think there's like 6 actual 6v6 maps on the base game. Is there? Or is it
Like
9?
maybe like 8 or
I
9,
think
I think.
I think it's 9.
I'm trying
I'm
to
getting.
think.
No, I think it's 9 because and then there's like the added bigger maps on top of that as well.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Um,
if you want to encompass all of the maps in total, like with the ground war maps too, then yeah, I guess there's maybe like 10 or so. It's 10 or 11. I
yeah.
mean, what do we
So
have? Mercado, Hotel, Farm, El Asilo, the Hydroelectric, uh, the horrible border crossing map,
well
Tarak.
that one doesn't really count.
That one doesn't count.
Like I mean,
That
that
one
doesn't really
doesn't
count.
count. Yeah,
They've stripped
true.
it a bit of
True.
ground war to
That's
make it a
true.
map, and it plays awful on all game modes. Um, I
Hold on one
mean,
second.
yeah. Go ahead.
Out.
Jason's cat's messing with the cables. Welcome to
No,
my world.
nah, my cat wanted out of my room.
Oh, fair enough.
He was just sitting there at the door looking at me like, "You
Like,
gonna fucking do
let
something, dude?"
do it, do it, or I'll piss.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
So yeah, okay, that map doesn't count because it's just it's just stripped it from ground war. It worked. It's awful on all game modes. And honestly, I'm not a person for removing content from a game, but if it means we never have to play that map again, remove it.
Well,
Honestly,
actually, I
because
heard the other day that Tarak, that one's actually a remake from Call of Duty 1.
that's true. That
Which
one,
to me goes like, holy shit, maybe it's a good thing I never played Call of Duty 1 multiplayer. 'Cause
like
that map is awful.
I don't like. It's not good, but I tolerate it. The bridge map I can't because it's so whatever it's called.
The
I don't know
bridge
the
map.
The one with the cars on it that
Oh, yeah, the
explode.
border crossing. Yeah, Santa
border
Senya.
border border crossing, whatever, right? That's the one map where it's like just take it out of the game or just get rid of the
Yeah.
car. Make us the cars can't explode. One of them, I don't care. Turn off explosions. I don't know.
Yeah.
So that map doesn't count. So season 1, we're getting 2 maps, which are both thingy. And I think the reason they're doing it is to try to take hype away from the main game and make it so people go to Warzone and DMZ.
No,
I
you're
think
exactly
that's it.
right.
Like okay, we're gonna add in new stuff, but let's not make it too great, so people will go to our battle royale mode and
Right.
they're encouraged to buy skins.
No, you're exactly right about that, man. They can use Shoot House and Shipment to level up and grind their weapons again just for fucking Warzone. And you know
Because
what? I find
yeah,
it the most ironic thing in the world that they're like, this is the new age of Call of Duty and everything's gonna be so different and new and unique, and then they're literally doing the same thing that they did before. It's like, how is this new? How is this Call of Duty 2.0? Now I get it, DMZ is gonna be new. That's cool. But
yeah.
like, what else is new? Like, what else is going to be Call of Duty 2.0? Like, what? That we're going to have this horrible subscription service? That we're going to have this, just complete corporate emptiness across Call of Duty at this point? Like, I don't know.
Are they fixing the HUD? They're not the HUD. They're not the
Probably
HUD. The HUD's
not,
fine.
dude.
They're
Let's
just
be
kind
real.
of,
Like, I don't think they could be bothered to give a shit about that kind of feedback. And the way it's going with Call of Duty HQ and, how that's all going to go, man, I don't think that's going to get fixed anytime soon. No, I don't think it's going to get fixed anytime soon.
Oh, that makes me sad.
Because I remember a week or two ago, people were bringing up an old article saying that it was a recent article saying that the HUD was going to get fixed, right? But these people didn't look at the date of the article saying it was back in February, saying that, Call of Duty is getting a new UI change, right? It was another leak.
Yeah.
And people are using that, we're using that article to say, look, a new UI change is coming. It's like, no, this was an old article. This is copium right now. Like, they're not going to change this shit. They don't care. They don't give a shit anymore. They really don't. And by them, I mean Activision. I'm sure there are some really passionate people at some of these studios. But I don't know, man. It's just the faith is waning more and more every day. And it's really sad to say that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely sucky. Don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I think even with Cold War, even before I didn't enjoy the multiplayer as much as some people, at least we got
we got content.
We got content.
We got good shit. We had new maps every season, handful of new guns every season, new zombie stuff. Even if people didn't like Outbreak, right? I mean, here's Outbreak still did something new. There was always a change being added to Outbreak. We had new perks for zombies. We had new score streaks for multiplayer.
I think the
come
most
on.
hype time to be like a zombie player is from D Machine all the way to when Outbreak released. Because you got so much. You got you got D Machine, right? A little bit it takes a while, but then Firebase comes out. Then a few weeks later, or a month after, we got our perk upgrades.
Outbreak.
We got Outbreak and stuff, and
the update to Zombies Onslaught.
Yeah, all that, right? I'm like, oh god, I wish we could go back.
Then we had season 4 and season 5, and season 6. I mean, season 3 was definitely the more calm season for Black Ops Cold War. But then season 4 Reloaded, that was Mauerder Toten, boom, right there. Then you had season 5, that was a really good season, added a lot of cool things to Outbreak. Season 6 Forsaken, the Halloween event, you had so much in Black Ops Cold War Zombies that made it really replayable and really great, and weapon challenges and operator missions and all this stuff, and multiplayer had the same thing, new maps and operator missions and guns and challenges and dark
I
ops
know.
and like Black Ops
Eh,
Cold War. Out of all of the modern Call of Duty games, Cold War is the best of the bunch, and
yeah,
I think
and
that's irrefutable.
yeah, 100%. I mean, like, if you're going from, we'll start with like Modern Warfare 2019, right?
Mm-hmm.
All the way up to where we are now. In terms of content, at least, I'm not saying about how the way the game feels. I know a lot of people like prefer Black Ops Cold War's arcadey feel stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of actual content, the game is superior to anything we've gotten, 110%. Because
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the fact that it has a decent zombies game alone pretty much makes it like so it beats everything else. And if
Right.
you're into multiplayer, the game has a lot of guns. The game's pretty balanced for what it is. The maps are decent. Yeah, I mean, yeah. And then you look at Vanguard and then Modern Warfare 2.
I mean, I guess to try to give some kind of benefit of the doubt. I mean, I don't really have any expectations, or I don't anticipate a bunch of crazy content from Modern Warfare 2. But to try to give it the benefit of the doubt, I guess I'll say that we haven't seen the whole content life cycle of Modern Warfare 2 yet, and we don't know what's gonna happen, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But season 1 is right around the corner, and things are looking kind of weird. I mean, I'm looking forward to using the new guns. I always look forward to using new guns, but Shoot House and Shipment, we've already seen that. It's honestly overdone in my opinion.
Hmm.
Um, and then that's it. I mean, we're gonna get a new Special Ops mission, but Special Ops just hasn't been that engaging, in my
No.
opinion. I just seems all very basic stuff, and I don't know. So I mean, who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen in the future from Modern Warfare 2? But I would say don't expect anything super crazy. Don't expect the greatest, most advanced Call of Duty game of all time, like they marketed it as. But I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be some things that we enjoy, right? I mean, they gotta add some kind of new maps to season 2
I think I
or
think I
something,
think
maybe.
I think that all right. So Modern Warfare 2 as it is, I enjoy it more than Modern Warfare 1, right? Or Modern Warfare 2019.
Hmm.
I enjoy it more. I enjoy way the game feels. I like the game modes in it. They haven't added a lot of new stuff, but the stuff they have added, I've been enjoying for the most part.
Hmm.
Um, and I hope it only does get better. But I mean,
Yeah.
you just think about it and then like, I don't. I think it's all going to be going to Warzone too and DMZ and
Of
stuff.
course.
Like all of it, because I mean the content they're giving now is free. They don't
Right.
have to be like asked for it. Like okay, well they didn't pay anything for it, so we'll give them this. We'll give them shipment too. One thing I'll say, which people have been pointing out, is that the shipment map that's coming seems to be a bit more reminiscent of the old one, which is nice. I wasn't the biggest fan of like shipment from 2019. You know how they're different, obviously.
Yeah, they got their different variations,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. They're. I think it's supposed to be a bit more thingy to the normal, like the first one, that the first iteration of it.
Hmm.
Um, so that I mean that's cool and stuff. And don't get me wrong, I like legacy content. I like stuff. I like old stuff coming back and
Oh,
getting a
sure.
re-experience stuff, right?
Just
But
some
I like
things are
it
a
in
little
good taste.
overdone.
Yeah, I like it in good taste, right?
Yeah.
Like I mean, Black Ops 4, right? Right? But it's serious. I like it in good taste, right? I like I like an odd remake. I like maps coming into newer games to see how it feels like the functions and that of it.
Hmm.
But I don't want it to be the main like selling cycle. Like I don't want it to be the main like selling point of the game.
Right.
Uh so and I think Black Ops 4 actually suffered a lot from this. Don't get me wrong, Black Ops had a lot of new content come into it as well. And it has a lot more content than a lot of the new games have in terms of like well for zombies maps and even multiplayer, right? But you ratio it out to like what's new, what we haven't seen before and what we have seen before. And I don't know. You get a little I don't know.
Yeah,
It
I
if
it's
but
weird.
I understand with Black Ops 4 because we have 4 brand new maps that, were great. Well,
I
not
mean,
4.
Black Ops 4, I feel like to begin with was supposed to be the all-in-one Black Ops game
Like
though.
it was
Like
supposed to be the Black Ops experience. Like there'll be
yeah,
things
like I
coming
feel
from one
like
thing, another
because
thing.
that's
I
how it
mean
was kind of
Blackout,
marketed though, right?
yeah.
It was marketed
Blackout,
as that cohesive, this is where you play everything and anything to do with Black Ops. I
Yeah,
just
yeah. So I guess it has
that's the
that going
difference
for it.
there. And I
Yeah,
think with
that.
with this game, Modern Warfare 2, it's just going to be Modern Warfare 2019 all over again if they keep doing the same thing they're doing. And again, that's not Call of Duty 2.0. That's not a new age of Call of Duty. Like, it's just fake news basically. It's
Yeah.
just dishonest marketing, which I
Mhm.
mean, what do we expect at this point? But yeah, man, Shipment and Shoot House coming to Modern Warfare 2 just for people to level up their guns quickly for Warzone 2.0. I don't know if Warzone 2.0 is going to be as successful as Warzone 1. It probably will be, let's be honest, because you have millions of
Yeah.
people who will just play anything to begin with. But then DMZ, obviously it's I think the sad reality of DMZ is going to be I think the majority of people will play the game mode for I don't know the first day or two and then just drop it. I
Well, yeah.
mean, because
Like
a lot of
you'll.
people, they want change, they want things to be new, and then they don't give those things a chance, or they don't want those things to be new because they just want to go back to the original drone,
Well, they.
mindless gun grind
What
and
it
camo
is.
grind.
Thing is, it's kind of about breaking the cycle.
Yeah,
And it's something I've definitely
breaking out of
experienced
the
a
minimal
lot.
brain
Yeah.
activity.
And it's something I've definitely experienced and something I think about a lot as well, where like people say they're bored of video games, but the only video game they play is COD.
Right,
Or like shooters in general, first person shooters. Like,
right.
yeah, of course you're gonna be. If you're playing doing the same thing over and over, yeah, right?
It's like
Um
Voss in Far Cry 3. Did I ever tell you
yeah,
the definition of insanity?
yeah.
It's
Like
like,
doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result.
exactly,
Um and
exactly.
like that's like the main thing. And that's why like breaking off from zombies and doing multiplayer and then,
Mm-hmm.
other stuff and then going back to zombies. Zombies 2 was refreshing again.
Yep,
Because, as fun as zombies is, you could only play so much of it. I mean, and a lot of
that's
people that are
true.
like in the community from like, I mean, every second that goes by, like the zombie community is evolving, or devolving, evolving a bit
I,
backwards.
I think I'm willing to say the latter there. I think the
Yeah.
community's shrinking every day.
Well, yeah. Well, what I mean by
Zombies community
evolving,
specifically, but
I guess it's. I guess it's changing. Even I should say, evolving probably wasn't the most appropriate word to use there.
oh boy,
Um.
it's, the zombies community is definitely changing. I mean, there's fuck, man. There's
So,
not a
but
lot of
like
hype.
even
There's not a lot of anything
even
going for it right now.
even like the like us as people, since we're
Mhm.
constantly changing and stuff as well. As if we've been playing the game mode, a lot of people have been playing it for so long. I mean, Black Ops 2 just turned 10 years old, which is fucking scary. Um,
Yeah,
but like, think about that. We've been playing the game mode pretty religiously for people that
well
started
over a
Black Ops 2,
decade.
well over a decade. If you started at World at War, you've been playing for like 14 years, and the game mode's changed in its time and stuff. But
Yeah, I think it's time for people to do some more stuff.
yeah, and but the thing is, as the game modes change and stuff, it's not. There has been drastic changes here and there and improvements and stuff.
Mhm.
But the most revolutionary thing to come out of the, in terms of like the actual like gameplay, is Outbreak. That's the most like the biggest change that's come to zombies. And again, they shouldn't have to change the whole game mechanics and stuff, right?
Mhm.
Because that if you start doing that, people are gonna be like, oh well, that's not zombies and stuff. But they need to start doing more of like Outbreak. And I know the majority of the community are gonna be like, oh well, people hated Outbreak when it came out and stuff. And all that.
Just,
And
just do both, like in Black Ops Cold War. Just have
I
normal
think
round based and outbreak.
that
Just literally do
yeah.
both.
But then you'll have people that will even like you'll have people that will be like, oh, I wish we got a round based map instead. And then they'll go
Yeah, there's
like
always
complain
going to
and
be
stuff.
those people. I mean,
Right? I think it's weird because like people are allowed to have their opinion and stuff on things, right? If things are dog shit, you should be able to say they're dog shit. But you
right.
got a lot of people that are just hating for the sake of hating because
There's
they're
that
they're
too.
trying to they're trying to they're trying to fetch that feeling they had playing like Origins for the first time, which
Right.
a lot of the time it's just in your head. It's just in your head that you felt that way. I mean, don't get me wrong. I long for the days of playing like video games as a kid and stuff.
I
But the
mean,
reason
dude,
why I
yeah.
like the reason why I enjoyed it a lot more, and I think that's for a lot of people, is because we were so new to it. For a lot of people, it was like a brand new experience. And when you're going in for the first time, not knowing things like little things here and there,
Mhm.
trying to actually like learn the game, things are a lot more interesting. I mean,
They are. It's stimulating. It's,
yeah, exactly.
the
It's
whole point of a
exciting.
game is
Yeah,
to,
yeah,
develop that. I think the whole thing with video games and how they can help people is, developing hand-eye coordination, developing critical thinking
Mhm.
skills, developing, problem solving, um, adversity. If there's a challenge that's really hard, you can keep trying and, try to learn from your mistakes from a video game. You keep dying over and over again or something. Like, video games can do a lot of good things. And, when you have something that you've been playing for, yeah, sometimes 14 years, if you start at World of War, and a lot of things haven't really changed, you kind of get stuck. And, obviously Call of Duty, with each of its games in their own little microcosm, have done things to innovate and have done things to shake it
I
up a
mean,
little
look
bit.
look at the
But
jetpack games. You know what I
I
mean?
mean,
Look
there's,
at
yeah, jetpack games, Infinite Warfare, Black Ops 3, whatever. You have, Black Ops Cold War with the Outbreak, and then you have Warzone being the greatest, bestest thing ever because Battle
then you
Royale was
have
like the
then you
biggest
have
thing ever.
yeah. Then you have
And
Vanguard
then
with their own Fang and
and
all
then you have
that, and that
Vanguard
that
with
really
their own
pushed.
Fong, and that was
That
just backwards.
really pushed the boundaries of zombies for
That pushed
everyone.
that pushed the boundaries of how, holy shit, we thought it couldn't get any worse, and then it did. So now I think we realize that Duron Fong is the boundary of, like, holy fuck, this is the bottom of the barrel.
Nah,
Um,
don't say that.
I know I
They'll
probably
do
shouldn't say that
something.
because they'll do something worse. No, I know. Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't have said that. I just fucking jinxed it. I just jinxed it.
Uh, Guys, if
Um,
Black Ops Cold War 64 is our fault, we know who to blame. It's Jason Oisington.
Look, here's the thing though. Like, Call of Duty, by itself, the basic mechanic is you load up the game and you shoot some guns.
Yeah, that's it to the core, right? You shoot.
Like, that is the game. And so the this religious thing that people have been going through for over a decade now, I think a lot of people are, getting kind of sick of it, from our generation. It's weird to say that, from our generation of Call of Duty fans, because now you have this whole new generation of Call of Duty fans that are basically Fortnite fans at this point. So, it's really unfortunate that, Activision has not really seen the need to conserve the original player. Activision has not seen the need to conserve the diehard player, and really cater to the Fortnite audience of, the literal children that will steal their mother's credit cards for hundreds of dollars in
Yeah.
skins.
Hmm.
So, that's where we find ourselves, where we have been so faithful to this franchise, and this franchise has done everything in its power to let us know that we are not the audience anymore, that we are not their player base anymore, because they don't want us to be the player base anymore, because they want to move forward with trying to get as much money out of everybody as possible.
Yeah.
It's just really sad. It's the inevitable. It's the inevitable end of corporate malpractice if that corporation, like, stops caring at all. And there are a lot of
Yeah.
corporations out there that still do care, albeit it's, very hard to find some of those nowadays. But I mean, it's, when you have something like Activision, and how, deeply rooted in, how do I put this? When you have a corporation like Activision that is so deeply rooted in, let's say, globalist culture, that,
Yeah.
their main objective isn't to make a good product, it's profit. And which,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, every corporation has the right to make profit, but it's the way they do it. It's the way they do, and that's where the malpractice comes in. And there's some really shady things behind the scenes, not just how they make the games, but, the people who work on the games too. And, it's very concerning, and a lot of people just are just willing to dismiss all of that because it's an uncomfortable topic, or, oh, I don't get into politics, or, oh, I don't know about all that. And it's like, well, have you ever thought of why you don't know that? Have you ever thought of why you don't know those things right off the bat, and you have to, like, really dig into it deep? It's because they don't
Yeah.
want you to know. They don't
No.
want you to know that there's shit going on behind the scenes. They don't want you to know that their CEO, current CEO, is a horrible person. And they don't want you to know that the person Bobby Kotick giving the company off to Bill Gates. They don't want you to know that Bill Gates is a shady character either. They don't want you to know anything about this. They don't want you to know about who are the investors behind the scenes in Activision too. And before I mysteriously disappear, I won't name some of these people that are actually funding Activision. But you go look at this shit, and there's connections in this big wide web of just crap. This wide web of deceit, and this wide web of power and money, that it goes deeper than a lot of people realize. And the whole reason why you don't know about that is because they don't want you to know about that average person watching this podcast. They don't. They'd rather have you see data, and they'd rather have you talk about, well, slide canceling is actually the best thing ever. And like, oh, I don't like that. And then people are distracted by that, and they don't talk about the real problems.
At the end of the day, what we are the product.
Agreed.
We are the product.
Exactly.
That's the thing, though, right? Is like,
that's what I was saying earlier.
I think Modern Warfare 2 is a great example of like, we can sell them something completely empty and still make $1 billion.
They got away with selling a $70 advertisement. Think about that.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, right? Is with the game. I mean, fair. Okay. Obviously, game prices have gone up because PS5 and stuff. I'm assuming that the PS4 and Xbox version are a bit cheaper.
No, it's all $70.
Is it real? Okay, well that's fact first of all.
It's all $70. Right?
I remember when it used to be like a lot less than that. What's it? So the fact the game came out, right, and the thing is, right. The people talking about the game, it's overwhelmingly not overwhelmingly positive, but there's a lot of positive. People actually enjoy the game for what it is and stuff, right? But then if you look at that compared to Vanguard, like Vanguard is worse, but it's worse in a different way. It's
right.
It's not good because Modern Warfare, in terms of like it's the connection it has with the players, it has the Modern Warfare 2 title, it has characters that we all grew up loving and stuff. It has that connection going for us. I think that's the big difference between Vanguard and Modern Warfare 2.
Oh, for sure.
The Vanguard didn't have the name. If you saw Vanguard as Call of Duty World at War 2, then I think it would do a bit better.
Right. It would, right? But then I feel like you would spark more vitriol because Vanguard is the furthest fucking thing from.
Yeah, obviously, right? So, but if they just released that and had a game that was like, let's say the multiplayer is pretty much the same, right? Because it's both in World War II settings, shouldn't have to change too much. But if they had a game come out, World at War 2 or whatever, and it was a continuation or some sort of spin-off from World at War, right? And it had characters that we like, or if they just did Call of Duty World at War, if they just did what they did with Modern Warfare 2019. And I know World at War is canon in this universe because all the Black Ops games supposedly are canon. Because I mean, I don't know. It gets pretty messy.
I think Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4 aren't supposed to be canon, though.
I think. I mean, the thing is, though, right?
Maybe.
You say that, Phil, but then Seraphs and Vanguard.
I mean, I don't know.
I know that's like a legacy pack. I know it's Vanguard. Nothing really matters in that game.
Nothing matters in that game to me. Dude, I don't fucking care.
The thing is, until we get to that point of like Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 4, it doesn't really matter if they're canon or not, because since it's in the future. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I could see why maybe they wouldn't want that to be canon. I mean, who knows? I mean, the next game's supposed to be set in the 90s, Treyarch's game at least. So
right, there's rumors of Black Ops Gulf War, or covering maybe some events that maybe lead up to 9/11 or something like that. Who knows?
Yeah.
Could be interesting.
So I don't know. My big fear, and this is my big fear, is if they're willing to do this in Modern Warfare 2. And it sold as well as it did, and all that stuff, right? And having like no multiplayer content for the most part. There is stuff in there that's good. There are stuff that you can play. The game feels more refreshing than Vanguard, to me personally, and probably a little bit for Cold War at least. Cause I just prefer the way Modern Warfare 2 feels. And that's just like I know Black Ops Cold War. There's a big group that really like that multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
My big fear is what the fuck are they going to do about the next Black Ops game? Because I think the Black Ops name is a lot more like
More marketable.
More marketable. But I think Modern Warfare 2 has the benefit of being like, okay, well, we didn't have the Modern Warfare franchise going on for years. Whilst the Black Ops games, you had Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, and then after, well, I mean, from Modern Warfare 3, you had Black Ops 2, 3, 4, then Cold War come out, obviously, compared to Modern Warfare only having Modern Warfare 2019 come out from like the last, Modern Warfare game.
Yeah.
Um, so I think Modern Warfare 2 had that going for it. But like, what if they just release Call of Duty Black Ops 2? What if they just make Black Ops? What if they just do what they did with Modern Warfare 2, with
I
Black Ops
mean,
2, and what if they just recanonize the whole Black Ops story and make it so the intel that's currently in the story that would matter in previous games, like Menendez being canon in Black Ops Cold War and intel and stuff, they just made it work.
I
Because
mean, if they
I could,
rebrand and if they redo Black Ops 2, that's gonna be weird. That's gonna be more weird than them trying to redo Modern Warfare 2 to me. Just
because
maybe because I'm biased and I like Treyarch games more than Infinity Ward games. Maybe
yeah.
that's why. But I just feel like that would be so strange, mainly because it would be back to back, you know. And if anything, that continues to support what I'm saying about, we're not the fucking audience anymore. They want all those old games to be forgotten. And it's also part of the
Oh yeah,
reason
no.
why they're
If
not
they
taking action to fix their older games on PC, even though they're legally obligated to. So,
Yeah, like if
yeah.
they could, they would just. I think they would just take them off the stores. I think they just put them offline. I think they make it so like, yeah, you can buy the
I mean,
campaign and zombies or
maybe.
whatever, but that's it. Because they want all like their players going to the newer ones. Because it doesn't mean jack shit to them if they're playing a really old game. I
Well,
bet
yeah, I
the
mean, the
only
servers need to be just off anyways now because of the
yeah,
fucking problems that
I
are
bet I
happening.
bet I bet the only reason they have them open is because, well, from Black Ops 2 at least, they're making enough money to warrant them running from the DLC packs on console and like skin,
Right.
like weapon packs. For like the
Yeah.
6 people that are on it still, they're making just about enough. And
Right.
that's why they have it.
They can, because that's the thing about Steam and how important Steam is. I mean, you can pretty much play anything on your PC.
Unless
So
you take it away,
unless
which companies have done before. And
right.
funnily enough, what I found out, Activision, they were another triple. I was going to play one of my favorite games of all time, Transformers Fall Cybertron, right?
Mhm.
Um, you can't get it on PC because Activision got in trouble for like legal reasons, so they had to take it off the Steam store,
Oh.
right? But you can still, if you can get the key for the game,
Mm.
which is nearly impossible because it costs a lot, you can then buy it. Like
Interesting.
if you put the Steam key into Steam, it'll be like, oh, here's Transformers, Fall Cybertron stuff. Um, but no, companies like I think the option for games to be bought should 100% be there, right? Like always. But I don't know, with the older games and stuff, I just at this point, is it even worth it? Because no, it's not worth the price of what they're releasing, obviously, because the multiplayer, a good 1/3 of the game is completely broken for a lot of the older games.
Oh
So
yeah.
I think like
More than a third.
$10 is a fair price for a lot of the base games, just for the campaign and base zombie stuff. I think that's a fair price if they were to like try and readjust the prices because of how like multiplayer is so like shit
Mhm.
at the moment. I don't know
I mean, at this point, the game shouldn't be on the marketplace right now just because, for those of you who haven't
how
seen my
broken they
video
are.
about what's going on with these older games, we have literal hackers trying to ruin people's lives just because people want to play Black Ops 2 or Black Ops 3 or COD 4 or whatever. And I mean, these games need to not be purchasable. They need to not be up on the store because these products literally don't work. They don't work as intended. They have been plagued by degenerate lowlives who have nothing better to do in their lives than to, pretty much be assholes and to, boot people offline and ruin their PCs with malware and things like that. And Steam, Valve, they gotta take it off the store, and that'll make Activision panic because, oh no, they're not gonna make money. So, or if Activision's willing to respond to legal things, like you were just saying there with Transformers, if they're willing to respond to legal things, maybe some legal action should be taken so that they don't have to remove their games from the store, and they actually have to fix their shit, and they have to fix the cyber integrity of their previous Call of Duty games. So it's just a fucked up situation overall when it comes to just Call of Duty on PC, and let's hope Activision makes the right decision. Although, you know, I'm not holding my tongue about it. I just I don't know. It's just stupid. It's just really stupid that we're here in the first place when it comes to that. But man, what a weird situation we find ourselves in. Like, I'm simultaneously excited about DMZ, but at the same time, I'm very underwhelmed about Season 1 and Call of Duty 2.0 and everything like that, right? So, I don't know. I mean, I'm willing to give everything a try, like I always say. You know, you don't knock it till you try it, because that's a video game at the end of the day. And I don't know. We'll see. We'll just see, I guess. We'll just see what happens, man. Weird stuff. Really weird stuff, I guess.
Call's in a weird place. We're taking old stuff from old games and giving it as new stuff. We're making it so brackets and leaderboards are new content as well.
Seasonal content for
seasonal content. You can't play older games without, you know, people going into your bank account and
pretty
putting,
cool,
like, viruses.
Pretty
in your
great.
PC.
Oh, it's just great.
I mean, if someone does it to me, you're gonna go into my bank account and be like, well, "There's nothing here." So, I mean, there you go. So you can't beat me, you know, and come on,
rip.
Just don't log into my Twitter account and make fun of Elon, please. I don't want the FBI at my house. I really don't want that to happen. I know you can pretty much say anything on there except, like, but anyway,
that's a whole that's a conversation for a completely different day. Twitter is completely just it's anarchy.
I mean, I think it will recover. I don't think it's like gonna not work out. But that whole editing off, like, that check mark system was so stupid. This person's verified because they pay $8 a month. This person's verified because they're, you know, in government news and all that. They're a good source.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what the hell is going on with that.
Let's just talk about the Facebook.
Let's just not.
Let's
just get rid of social media. How about that? We just go back to the 2000s, and we actually, like, talk to each other, or like the 90s or something. We all talk to each other face to face. I don't know. Just a thought. Just a thought.
Just a thought. Why not?
But anyways, that'll be it, I guess, for this episode of the podcast, guys. You know, just a weird spot we find ourselves in with Call of Duty. What do you guys think about DMZ Season 1 and everything that we talked about today? Really weird stuff. Really weird stuff. And yeah, man, you have any closing thoughts before we end it off today?
Next week we'll be able to talk about, like, Warzone 2 and stuff.
True.
I hope Warzone 2, you know, when it comes out, it's functional. I hope DMZ gets a bit of love. And yeah,
we can hope.
We can hope. We can only hope.
We can all hope. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
maybe we shouldn't be fooled. I don't know. It's all very conflicting.
Yes.
But anyways, thank you all so much for watching this episode of the podcast. What was your favorite part? And again, feel free to let us know in the comments what you think about all this crazy stuff. And with that said, have a fantastic rest of your day or night, depending on where you are in this crazy world. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace out.
Bye, everyone.